education. We now have meetings every single week of the entire month. The first Wednesday, and all of our meetings so far are on Wednesdays. Wednesday evenings. The first Wednesday is where you are this evening, the Real Deal Investment Club. This is an educational platform where we bring in local speakers as well as a few, not very many, national speakers. It is set up classroom style, and it is high content, very, very high education. You're not going to experience a lot of pitching and selling that goes on here. The reason this was created is because I, like you, am an investor, and I got really tired of being pitched to and sold to time and time again to buy into a lot of these programs. You've got to invest in your education. There's no shadow of a doubt. It's the only way you're going to be able to grow. But I truly believe, and I have been told, and I've experienced it, how many of you would agree or disagree with me? How many of you agree that real estate is local? Every hand should go up. Real estate is also national, but real estate more so is local. You've got to know your local market. You've got to know what's going on here. And just because they say something is going on in Texas or Arizona or Arkansas or Nevada or Mississippi, wherever it is, chances are it's probably happening here. But if you don't have your finger on the pulse of the market here locally, you're not going to be as successful as you could be. Why? Because I can tell you Prince William County is totally different than Montgomery County, Maryland, right? Baltimore, Maryland is totally different than Prince George's County, but yet they border one another, right? Yeah. Okay? So you need to know all these things. But how do you get to know all these things? By networking, by taking action, by doing research. This is not get rich quick. It's not going to happen overnight. There are a lot of marketers out there that share with you that you can make $10, $15, $20, $25,000 overnight or in a month, and that is true. Okay? There are people out there that get lucky every now and then, but I'm here to tell you this is a lifetime commitment. It is a journey that you embrace, that you take the road to, and the way that you're going to get there is a vehicle, and that vehicle is called real estate. There are going to be times where you get really lucky and you get a deal done and you make $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000. Okay? It happens all the time. But it's not going to be the way that it consistently works. You've got to understand, so you do not set yourself up for failure, that it takes time. This is a lifetime commitment. Jim and I have been doing this for 15 years. The first 12 years, I failed and made a lot of mistakes miserably. And I sat and wondered, what did I do that everybody else was doing that I wasn't doing? It just takes time. So you've got to take consistent action every single day to get closer and closer to the dreams of realizing, does everybody understand how powerful that is of what I'm sharing with you? I just took off 12 years of a learning curve. I'm going to share my failures. I'm going to share the good with you, the bad with you, and the ugly with you. Is that fair? Okay, I'm a local investor. This is my home. This is where we invest. Well, we have property all over the country, but this is where we do our business. And I'm going to share with you my failures and my successes, because if I can help eliminate 12 years of what we did that we shouldn't have done, or things that we could have done differently, I'd love to know that we made a difference in your life. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. Second Wednesday of the month is Renew, the Real Estate Network for Entrepreneurial Women. That's where, sorry guys, but that's where the women come together and just spend time over dinner just talking about real estate and girl stuff. A couple months ago we had our first annual beach retreat where we went to the beach for the weekend. We stayed in our pajamas, we played board games, everybody had a meal to cook, some people slept in, some people read books with girls. It was absolutely a wonderful, wonderful weekend to digress, get away, no kids, no husbands, no nothing, no work, and we just spent the entire weekend together. It was a lot of fun. The third Wednesday of the month is a district RIA meeting. That's where we bring in a lot of our national speakers and our also local subject matter experts. For those of you that were with us last month, Jason Schubert, who specializes in hotels, was there to present, and he is actually doing a boot camp, I believe, this weekend in Indianapolis that some people are going to be going to. The fourth Wednesday is our newest event. It's very, very exciting. It's called Deals or No Deals. Anybody had the opportunity to join us there? Deals or No Deals was brought about because we wanted an opportunity and an evening, no pitching at all, no sales, no guest presenters, no speakers, nobody. We have investors that bring in deals that they're working on, We are also presenting opportunities that we know of to wholesale, whether they're in Baltimore, whether they're in Virginia, Prince George's County, it doesn't matter. There are local real estate deals and opportunities that are presented. But a lot of people also say, well, that's fine, but I'm new and I'm just getting started. How did that deal even come together? So during that evening, we're actually taking one or two deals and we're breaking them all the way down to share with you strategically how it was acquired, what we did with it, how we got through it, what the investor did to rehab it, what their exit strategy was, what the financing was like, and that has been a huge success. The most important part is that we provide dinner for you. It's in an enormous buffet, bigger than I've ever seen, and we also try to spread all of our meetings out around the entire Beltway to make it easier for those of you that are in Virginia versus those of you that are in Maryland. So that is about it about what we do. We are continuing to grow. We are continuing to build. We hear you, and we have a lot of really exciting things that are coming down the pike. We are going to be launching in January something called the 90-Day Challenge, and that is to get those of you that need to get out of your seat, get out the front door and start taking action. We're going to challenge you. We're going to push you through 90 days of actually making it happen and getting a deal done. Okay, so that's going to be coming up in January. We have a lot of other really exciting things in the background that we're working on right now, so always go to the website, districtrea.com. It's on the yellow flyer. And always stay tuned. That's where all the events are, and everything is pretty much listed there. So before I introduce our guest speaker, is there anybody that has any questions? Yes?
Did you meet Andre for lunch? It's not been
No, that's okay. All right, so with a show of hands, how many of you can share with me that you currently invest in multi-unit properties? I just want to try to get an idea of what we're dealing with this evening. Jim, we know what you do, but I'm going to give you a shameless commercial. Jim Jeffries in the back of the room is with Wind Creek Financial. They are a quasi-lender. They are not a private lender, they're not a hard money lender, and they're not a bank. They do financing as banks do with bank terms, and they essentially act as a private lender, but they are what I call a quasi-lender. Wind Creek Financial, they are phenomenal when it comes to doing financing, but more importantly, Jim is a fantastic coach, a fantastic educator, and so if you have opportunities with any type of a commercial acquisition, they do have minimum guidelines. I highly encourage and recommend that you call Jim Jeffries. Do you have business cards back there?
I do.
All right, he's got cards back there. Don't everybody get up right this second, but he does have cards back there to give to you. This is all a part of networking, because if I didn't talk about Jim, and I know Jim is a big networker, you wouldn't know that the opportunity there that exists. Robert, so good to see you. Tell me about the multi-unit investing that you're doing.
Well, actually, it's a 6-unit and a duplex right next door.
Fantastic. So an 8-unit.
So, well, it's like the duplex and then the 6-unit. So front of
8 units.
The whole floor, the whole street.
Fantastic. In Virginia or Maryland?
No, actually, this is in West Virginia.
In West Virginia. Fantastic. Have you already acquired it?
Yes, we had it for actually a couple of years.
Oh, awesome. What's your occupancy?
So it's fully occupied.
Really? Interesting. We're going to talk about that because we're fully occupied too. Funny thing how that happens. I don't know your name back there in the back.
Steve O'Connor.
Steve.
Yep.
Thank you for being here this evening. What type of multi-unit, multifamily investing do you do?
Well, right now I have like an 8-unit, multi-unit building with a storefront up in Baltimore, fully occupied. I haven't done much since then, so now I'm looking to ramp it up and do more.
So mixed use, storefront, is the storefront occupied as well? And is that storefront included in the 8 units, or is it 8
Yeah,
units
that's
plus the
what-
storefront?
yeah.
And you're 100% occupied?
Mhm.
Oh, go figure. I mean, all right.
That's all.
Fantastic. All right, well now, all I ask is that you have pen, paper, because I am going to be sharing a tremendous amount of information. This PowerPoint is raw. This is not an old PowerPoint. This is not regurgitated information. I am a research junkie, an education junkie, and I am always updating the latest of everything that I can possibly find to be able to share with you as it relates to real estate today. I can tell you that up until 4:00 p.m., I was still finishing this PowerPoint. That's how raw this is. All right, who can tell me what a multi-unit would consist of?
Any building unit that has more than one legal dwelling place for more than one person / family.
Okay, great answer. Would that maybe possibly be an industrial park?
No, I think when you're speaking of that, I think you're speaking of residential, I think, is what you're saying.
Okay, what about office buildings?
About multi-unit or multi-family? Multi-unit.
Well, this is why I'm asking the question, okay? Multi-unit is three to 4 points. I've always said it was 3 points until just recently. Multi-unit is mobile home communities, self-storage facilities, and apartment buildings. And until just recently, when my arm was twisted to understand that small, privately owned hotels such as Days Inn, Comfort Inn, Sleep Inn, etc., if you think about it, they are actually multi-unit as well. I like to think of it as a square box that produces income. Bottom line, okay? I can tell you that we do not currently invest in office buildings, so we're not going to be talking about office space. That's not what we do. That is not an investment strategy that I would even be considering or looking at right now until the market starts to turn around. Because as the market started to tank, multi-unit, I can tell you, commercial always lags residential 18 months to 2 years. So as the residential market was really, really heavy in the beginning of 2008 till the end of 2008, the commercial market started to slide. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I can tell you that as our economy started to fall into, they never would say a depression, I feel it really was a depression. What do you think happened to a lot of the businesses in our area? Well, all over the country.